Cal travels to Tallahassee, Florida to take on the Seminoles. Boy, oh boy, there's a chance that Florida State could be 0-4 with losses to California, Memphis, Boston College, and Georgia Tech.
Can I say something now?
The academics and then Memphis.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, holy cow! I didn't think about that. Well, come on, Memphis doesn't deserve that. Let's go. Come on, the
Okay, but
Tigers.
there's a
Derrick
separate
Rose. Are you
tier.
telling me Derrick Rose was not a scholar
Oh yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
Memphis?
Derrick Rose was absolutely a scholar, and everyone would tell you that.
Yeah, but first of all, I do think when we were talking about this in August, right, or before week 0, right? Like you look at Florida State's schedule, and you're like, well, they're probably going to be 5-0 going against Clemson. But listen, and they could be 0-4, man. Holy cow! But I do think Boston College has impressed people a lot more than they think. Georgia Tech, obviously, we were high on them, but Georgia Tech, I think, has impressed people a lot more than you would have thought. And so has Cal, man. Cal has looked really, really good. I was super impressed with the way they bounced back after going on the road to Auburn and getting a very good win there for that program and being able to bounce back and play San Diego State. Tough coaching staff there and look good and play well without Jade Knott. Now, Jade Knott needs to be healthy, man. Doesn't need to be. Okay, I'll say that.
He's probable. He's probable for that game.
Thomas has looked really good, though. But Ott is a difference maker. And
But he's
if you're
also
Florida
banged
State,
up. They're both banged up.
but Mendoza's playing so well, man.
Yeah. But if you get Tobias Merriweather back, Grays, Brady, I don't know. I still think he's done well with the receivers that he's had, even though he's had guys out. I mean, you thought Tobias Merriweather from Notre Dame was going to be a pretty big difference maker for you. And what I've just been impressed with is the defense. It's just impressed me. And for this Florida State team, which, as we speak, as we've said a billion times, sitting here talking about them, they still do not have an identity offensively, and they choose to not run the football. And if there's, I guess Cal's pass defense has looked really good thus far. I think their run defense is fine as well, but Florida State's got to run the ball. Okay. They have Cal traveling all the way from the freaking other side of the coast. An academic school, Cal Berkeley, is traveling from the other side of the United States of America. They're coming to your place. You were only a 2.5-point favorite. That means, guess what that means? Neutral site. Cal is a higher power rated team than Florida State this year. What kind of world do we live in? Now you might be thinking like, oh, well, that's valued. Florida State's obviously the better team than California. That has not been the case so far this season. This Cal team is good. This Cal team is good. I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna take the 2.5 points. All right, I'm gonna take Cal. They're gonna go into Tallahassee and they're gonna win that football game. And then people are gonna start paying attention to Cal, which is kind of silly because Florida State stinks.
We've been here.
Here's the thing. Could Florida State be like, oh wait, this thing called handing the football off and not making DJU throw the ball 30 times a game? Could that happen this week? Yeah, sure. But nothing that I've seen these past few weeks indicates to me that they're going to stop using DJU in a terribly inappropriate way that is an absolute disgrace to coaching staffs in college football. It's like
it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It is beyond a disservice to the players that came there in the transfer portal to play for a winning championship caliber football team to watch DJU try to swim with a freaking anchor attached to his ankle. It's unbelievable.
And let me say this. I do not blame DJU. He is exactly who we've seen before. If you give him a running game and some kind of weapons, he is not a bad college football quarterback. And that's what I think the thought is with Norvell, you trusted him as a play caller, and it's been awful. Listen, when Auburn played California, I will give Auburn credit this way. Jarquez Hunter, by the way, is better than anything Florida State has at the running back position, but he ran the ball well at times. He averaged almost 60 yards per carry, and they just couldn't get into it because anytime they go back to drop back for pass, bad stuff would happen, right? And listen, if DJU was throwing the ball 30 plus times a game, again, this is going to get ugly, I think, for Florida State. If they commit to running the football, that is their chance. Now, on the other side, you still have to stop the run, right? And if Thomas and Ott are healthy, or at least healthy enough, playing well, Mendoza has looked awesome. And even with the backup receivers, they have done such a good job. And I know AZ Thomas and Florida State has good secondary, but I do think those linebackers are pretty susceptible. And I trust Cal in the short to intermediate games. Quick separation, quick hitters, being able to run the football, stay ahead of the chains, do everything you need to do. Basically, it's not a crazy similar formula that you had to go into Auburn and beat them, right? Here's what I'll say this though. I have it on pretty good authority, or at least my gut feeling, right? My good authority is my gut feeling.
It's a great authority.
In authority, that Auburn environment, did you play 2 weeks ago? Much, much tougher in the first quarter than I think it's going to be in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
I wonder how deflated that crowd is going to be, whether it's going to be desperate
And it
and
could be
trying to will their
hostile.
team.
It could be hostile in the other direction.
That's what I'm saying. And you can hear a lot of boos, right? So I think if you're Cal, get off to a hot start and put this thing away. And then we're talking about, not that we're putting Mike Norvell in the hot seat because his buyout is massive and they just redid his contract. But you're talking about, wheels falling off. And they already have, by the way. They're just trying to tape them together. And on the other side, the Cal Bears, man, they get a bye and then they host the ACC favorites who have to come across the country to see them. I can't wait, man. I'm so glad Cal and Justin Wilcox are getting the credit they deserve. This game will be on ESPN2, 6 o'clock game. I think a lot of eyes will be on it because it's obviously Florida State, and I think people like to watch, people can't look away. It's like a car accident. You just can't look away. But I think Cal's going to earn a lot of respect that they should have already had by now at this game. I'm with you. Give me Cal to cover and to win as well.
Let's go, dude. Let's friggin' go. Like last point I want to make about this as well. This game actually means more to Cal than it does for Florida State. Like Cal is in this to win this. Florida State, like you said,
ACC title game, by the way.
Like I think we're on like Florida State was already on sticker alert. All right, we knew that, but it's also on like at what point do these players give up on the coaching staff? So I don't anticipate it happening this week. And here's the thing. Here's why I also took the under in this game. Not to spoil our best bets for later, but under 45, you can still get that number. What Florida State has to do to win the football game, like you said, is run the ball. Okay. Then that plays into the under, If they have to throw the ball, that also plays in the under because they can't score points. Cal, on the other hand, if Jaden Ott is injured and he's not playing, they're going to have a tough time running the ball. And I think Florida State's secondary is good enough. I think it was supposed to be really good.
It's better than Auburn's.
Yeah, it is good. Mendoza might have issues, especially if, Tobias Merriweather's not available or other receivers because they're missing some of their top guys. So this just screams under to me. But you know what also screams? Horrible, god-awful, terrible pick sixes that absolutely squash unders. But, hey, give me Cal plus 2.5. That's just a pick. It's not a bet. But then feed me the under in this game. Give me Cal on a gritty one, baby. Let's go, Bears.